With the death of William and the passing prematurely of his wife Mary, that brought Mary's sister to the throne, Anne. The Anne Hyde two daughters, remember? Well, Anne was 37 when she ascended. She had been torn in her loyalties between her father and her sister and brother-in-law, of course. And it nearly killed her, but she abandoned her father, James, and supported her brother, William, and her sister, Mary, in the Glorious Revolution, brought them to power. They didn't seem to find much, they didn't respect her particularly for this. She had married a Danish prince, Prince George, and they had had a good family life, but unfortunately, of her 14 pregnancies, not one of her children survived. And it ruined her health, of course. Her husband had fought for William, and William had snubbed him, and this was hard to take. So it was not a happy life for Anne. And then, of course, after 6 years of being queen, her husband died of cancer, and this was awfully difficult. She was a pretty miserable person. At the age of 43, there was Anne, fat, 40 and alone. The queen was ill. She was a recluse. She didn't want any more to do with her cabinet. Oh, don't bother me with this. The cabinet was ruling the country. One day somebody said when there was a signature needed, well, we need the queen's signature, and she has to read this. Somebody said, oh, for God's sake, shut up. The queen is as dead as Julius Caesar. Get on with it. Sign the name. That's the way it was going. She was not relevant. Her final action had to be hers, and that was to sign the Act of Succession. Now, the Act of Succession actually came in 1701, but she hadn't signed it all this time. And that was to sign her name to agree to the line of succession going to the House of Hanover. And she didn't want any part of that. Now, her relative was in that line. It all came from her great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather here. But she couldn't stand the idea of one of those damn Germans coming to England. So she wouldn't sign it. Well, finally, she signed it. That was the last act. Her last appearance was opening the House of Parliament in 1714. She was so crippled with gout, they had to carry her in that chair. She was hugely overweight, a lot of edema, very painful. Erysipelas had marred her face. She had to wear a false wig so that she would learn makeup and all the rest of it to look human. But she read her own speech, and she had a beautiful, melodious voice. Everybody thought it was a beautifully read speech. But the last time they saw her,